Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. Jai Sriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharyaji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to the Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to the 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi. And I pay my obeisances to Lord Sriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Sri Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that are watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that are going to be watching this discourse on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. I want us to observe a moment of silence, firstly for Sahil Ramkisson, who passed on the 24th of December this year, and for Bishop Desmond Tutu. Thank you. I just want to discuss Sahil Ramkisson very briefly. I met him when he was 10 years old. We used to frequent our Phoenix Satsangs. He was a very active young boy, always running around in the hall, picking up things, cleaning, laying the chairs, setting up the ashram. He was a natural devotee. I often note that children that come to our satsang have great perceiving qualities, and sometimes I hear them either in satsang or outside. They understand the essence of the discourses that I have given. And Sahil contracted cancer on his kneecap. His parents brought him to me whilst he was also receiving medical attention 3 weeks prior to his leg being amputated. I guaranteed him and his parents that if he attended and continued to attend satsang, I would prevent the amputation, and in a sense have the cancer obliterated. Sahil himself was witness to this in 2015 at the Phoenix branch. A 60-year-old devotee came to that satsang in stage 4 cancer. The color of his skin was green and he was smelling of death. You remember Vasan? He was there? No, he wasn't there. Vishnu. Alright. Sahil also witnessed a lady, a teacher, that was bedridden for 2 years. Medical science had failed. This lady found me on Facebook and contacted Vishnu, and I, through Vishnu, informed her that she has to attend satsang, and she said it is impossible, and I gave her potency so that she could get up and attend satsang after 2 years being bedridden. So Sahil was a boy of 10 years. He saw these potencies of the Guru. Again, it is unfortunate that when people come to me and when I prescribe, they do not listen. Sita, right here, today is wallowing in deep grief. She is suffering, but the Guru can't lift his hand up to help her. Because she also came to the Guru with a problem. And when the Guru gave her instructions, she said, no. That is my family, I won't listen to you. Same family is tramping ahead today. So it is very important to take every instruction of the Guru seriously. If the Guru is laughing and joking and eating a five with you, does not mean to say that you and the Guru is on the same level. The Guru comes down to your level to embrace you so that he can strike a bond with you. You are not at the Guru's level to make your own decisions. And there is always collateral damage. Jessica, always collateral damage. One person in a family always breaks up the divinity of the rest of the family in satsang. In this, from 2013, always, if there's 4 people in a family, one will oppose the Guru. You understand? And that will take the other 3 merited people away from the Guru in the satsang. And when those people go out there, there's always whatever the Guru predicted, it comes to the fore. And I can't understand how this happens, because there's witnesses every 3 months. There's a miracle taking place, so you can witness yourself. You don't have to listen to past history. This is happening in your time, in your lifetime, in your timeline. You've seen amongst yourself. There's big miracles taking place. But when the Guru gives you advice, you don't want to take it. And it's very, very simple. There's nothing hard to understand. If somebody went and saw a movie, and he comes back and he tells you what the movie is about, when you go to see that movie, can you change any part, any scene, any character in that movie? You can't. Similarly, the Guru sees you as a movie, your past, your present, your future. The Guru knows when you're going to take your last breath. You can't use your ego and change the Guru's movie. You have to use your soul to change the Guru's movie. And when you use your soul, it means you in surrender with the Guru. You are within the parameters of the Guru. You can't use your ego and change the Guru's movie. Just like that, if somebody saw a movie and they came and told you about the movie and you don't like certain parts of the movie, can you edit the movie? That movie is there, it's going to happen. As you see it, even if you don't see it, it already happened in the movie. Yes or no? So it is frustrating for the Guru. Who was here when there was a 4-year-old child that was coming to the satsang in a wheelchair? You was here, Sita? You was here, Dana? These parents were going to about 6 different spiritual places. And they conceded to the Guru that only when the child comes here, the child is in a comatose state, 4 years old, comatose state, Only when the child comes to this satsang and this ashram, he starts shaking and he gets alive. Anyone saw that, yeah? Shanti, you was here when the child came. You saw, we brought the child right here. And you heard what the parents said. He's in a comatose state all the time. Only on a Sunday when you bring him to this satsang, then he starts moving. Logic, what logic should have told the parents? They live up the road here in Reservoir. Up the road here in Reservoir. Don't you think logic should have told the parents, if this child, his limbs are getting active, his eye is opening, he's looking at the Guru and he wants to clap in the bhajans, he starts making a noise, straight from comatose, he gets this life breath, this activation of his system. If that was my child, I'll bring this child every day. I live not even 1 kilometer. If I see the vital signs of this child coming out of coma, so I told Vishwadhar to talk to them and tell them that if the child is showing these symptoms at this satsang, then forget the other places and come here. They said, no, we got those other places as insurance. Child passed on. Child could have been saved because the child himself showed symptoms of being saved. So this is a dilemma the Guru goes through. This is the dilemma the Guru goes through. He's already seen the movie. Whether you like the part, you don't like the part, you can't change it. Movie is already made. If you surrender to the Guru, movie can change. Guru is the final, Guru and God is the final editor of that movie. Just remember this, that God has given Guru mandate to edit your movie. God has given Guru mandate to edit your movie. So it is very unfortunate and I'm very saddened, but on 23rd December, Sahil told his family at his deathbed that Acharyaji is coming. Nirali phoned me at about 10:30 and she told me that Sahil said Acharyaji is coming. He could not speak, he had not eaten for 5 or 6 days. His tongue was twisted and thick and gone green. His eyes were already half closed. But he made this effort and he told his family, and I was not discussed in his family at all. There was no discussion for him to pick this up and make it into a conversation. So I told Nirali, give me an hour. I'm going to wait and call me again. And she called me within the hour. And I went. And I spent 3 hours with Sahil. Before I could leave, he again requested his mother. I was standing outside. Please tell Acharyaji to come and hug me. I went and I hugged him. And he complained that my perfume was too strong. I told Nirali on Saturday that I'm going to come and visit him at 6:15. Exactly at 6:15, his soul left his body. He passed on with the Om Namo Narayan mantra. where you think he is going tomorrow. Straight to Vaikuntha. Straight to Vaikuntha. Just like that, you can ask Vasan, Ravi, a devotee in good standing from the day he met us. I told him, Ravi, stop smoking, you're going to die. In satsang like this. You remember? Who remembers? He didn't listen to the Guru. He was involved in a collision. The car capsized. He survived that, but he didn't survive the cancer from smoking. But he also left with the Om Namo Narayan mantra. Ragni, she also left with the Om Namo Narayan mantra. And I'm teaching you, and take my teaching seriously. You're not going to get this any unpacked any more simply in any part of the world. Jessica Tevan, I told him, he came, I saw his illness, and I told him he must come to 6 consecutive satsang. He came for one, the next one he said he hasn't worked for 2 weeks, he need to make money, he owns a Uber. Then he came for the next one, then the next one was the same story. I met him yesterday, now that illness is gone to his fingers. From his toes, now where it is? In his fingers. Just now is going to be in a very, very big problem. And you must not blame this ashram. Because if I give you an instruction, if you don't follow it, don't blame this ashram. Just now his whole body is going to have that disease. Then I won't be able to cure him because I also have people that I am under. I'm under my Guru, I'm under my Sampradaya, and I'm under God. If you disobey me, my power comes from God. Maybe I would want to help you because I have a relationship with you. But if you messed up with the principle, then God will close the tap. Don't blame me. I'm tired of begging people to help those people. I am tired of begging people who's about to fall over the cliff. Vasan, you know how many years I'm doing this. People come and waste hundreds of my hours in my kutirs, Jessica. Hundreds of hours, not 1 hour or 2 hours. When they need the Guru, they can phone you, they can WhatsApp you, they can drive here anytime, they can take hours and hours. Then you go on our WhatsApp and you see these people just leave the ashram and leave the group without even giving an explanation. But they take thousands of hours from the Guru. They don't make an appointment, just land here, Guru, I want this, Guru, I want that, Guru, this is happening to me, Guru, that is happening to me. Other satsangs don't allow this. When I first went to Reservoir, I was told I must come for 8 satsangs before I even discuss my problem. 8 consecutive satsangs, then only I can see the convener of the satsang. How long that is? 2 months. But when people come here straight away, 4 or 5 hours at a time, 4 or 5 hours at a time, and the people are not listening, and God is getting upset, not with them, but with me. Because there is a God principle which I am violating by continuously telling you the same thing. Continuously telling you the same thing. There is only one girl left this satsang with dignity. She went on the main group and she said, I am not ready for the spirituality that you are teaching. Only one. And then she left the group. In our satsang, people come and sit here and they'll tell you, Guru, I'll never leave you. You can whack me, you can kick me, you can boot me. Guru, I'll never leave you. Those are the people that lives faster than others. And it is very heartbreaking when I spend hours on my discourses teaching you principles. At least have some principle in your life. When you live in this institution, have the dignity to say, I am sorry, I'm not ready for you, or my life is not working with what you're saying, or I don't think you're the right guru, I don't think you are my guru, I don't think I can further my life with you. Give some reason. Have that dignity and principle of a human being. Be a human when you leave this satsang. It doesn't matter whether you was an animal when you came in, but I've given thousands of satsangs when you were here. What went inside? If you can just leave the group, Jessica, Vasan, somebody just leave the group. Go on my private WhatsApp, because you WhatsApp me there when days were dark. You know that private WhatsApp. And tell the Guru, you know what, I'm sorry, I cannot continue in this satsang. Then go and leave the group. Then go and leave the group. Guru can't kill you on a WhatsApp. Have some dignity. Because if you do it here, it means you did it before somewhere else, and you're going to do it again somewhere else. Yes or no? Is that not the logic? Yeah, it's unfortunate. This is our last satsang, but we have to discuss. I've always been discussing things as it is, whether it's with my children, whether it's with Mataji, whether it's with the devotees. I only know one way, and that one way is the right way. That one way is the right way. I don't know any other way. Vasan, is there any other way? I also want to end this year. Everything is not doom and gloom. On the side of the ashram itself, we've conquered boundaries that very few will be found in the history of this 5,000 years. You'll be able to count it with your fingers. The boundaries that we broke and bust. And I want to say, please do not interrogate the scriptures of another religion. Please do not interrogate the scriptures of another religion. And this is going, don't tell another religion how to conform in that religion. And this is why Lord Sri Ramanuj made this injunction: respect all, worship your own. Respect all, worship your own. It is not principled to sit in one religion and look for technicalities in another religion. If you are doing that, what quality you possess? Do you possess a divine quality or a demonic quality? Demonic, yes. If you are sitting with the Bible, don't interrogate the Quran. If you're sitting with the Quran, don't interrogate the Bhagavad Gita. Let the people of that religion, let the scholars of that religion Let the gurus of that religion iron out their own religious problems. If you from another religion, you are interrogating scriptures of another religion, then you show in your religion is superior. There is no superior religion. No religion is superior than another religion. If a religion is claiming to be superior than another religion, then it's not religion, it is irreligion. It is irreligion. Is there anything wrong by saying the only way to God is through Jesus Christ? The only way to God is through Muhammad? Is the only way to God is through the Guru? Is there anything wrong in saying that? You're talking to your flock. You're talking to your flock. You're telling your flock, you bringing them, you uniting them, you bringing them into that system. In that context, there's nothing wrong in saying to that flock. Who was Jesus Christ talking to, Satish Bhai? To fishermen. He was talking to fishermen. Isn't he was giving sermons to fishermen? Who was Muhammad talking to? Yeah, who were they, Jessica? They were in Medina. And they were polytheistic. They had many gods. Won't it make sense to say that there is only one God and that is Allah? To take people out of polytheism, where people think there are hundreds of God, in that context, won't you say that there is only one God? When was the Quran written or collated? How long after Prophet Muhammad? Over 100 years. Over 100 years after. So wouldn't in that context it will be logical to say that if you want to reach Allah, you will reach Allah through Prophet Muhammad. It was in Arabic, it was a certain prophet at a certain era. Same for Lord Jesus Christ. A certain prophet was in a certain era, isn't? Don't take these things literally and fight. This is what's happening in India. They not looking at the context in which it was said. They taking it literally, and now there is that fight between Christianity and Islam. It's raging even today in India. They're doing an anti-conversion bill that was passed recently. You understand? So India need to take a leaf out of Sri Narayan Dham. You don't have to, this is not a political, you can't get a political solution in a religious problem. You have to get a religious solution in a religious problem. You understand? So if you look at what is happening in India, and if you look at what is happening at the Sri Narayan Dham, and how we have reached out, and how the other religions have also reached out to us, and how we are in a state of embrace today. Isn't it not how great it is? Look at Bruce yesterday. He received hampers from a Hindu organization, and he received food, cooked meal from a Muslim organization. And Bruce was celebrating Christian because he is a Christian and he comes from a Christian organization. How great that post is, Jessica, that he sent. That a Christian organization received from a Hindu and a Muslim organization that made the day of those people that he served. Can't we do this for Diwali? Can't we do this for Eid? And after that, can't we do this on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, on an hourly basis? Live in the essence of all religions. And we are showing that religious barriers are man-made. It is not the essence of that religion. Any leader of a religion who does not embrace other religions equally is not a leader of that religion. He does not understand that religion. He does not understand his own religion. Because in Judaism, in Christianity, and in Islam, the first criteria is humanity. First criteria is humanity. It's there in these scriptures. And this is why I'm saying, do not go into other people's scriptures and declare it technically incorrect. If you doing that if you are there, that means you're not using your spiritual essence, you are using your ego. And God cannot be found through ego. God cannot be found through ego. In God's eyes, everyone is equal. Every scripture is equal. Every pastor should be equal. Every Maulana should be equal. And every guru should be equal. When God is looking at a Maulana, a guru, a pastor, a rabbi, God must find equal essence in them. Because all of them are God's children. And all of them are doing God's work in another language, in another culture, in another way of life. Yes or no? Yeah. So Dana, if you want to pray, but you want to eat meat and pray, and you want to have a few wines whilst you pray, God gave you a system. Go and become a Christian. If you want to sacrifice, go become a Muslim. Bakri Eid is legal in Islam. It's authorized. You understand? Don't become a Muslim for material gains. Become a Muslim for a way of life. Become a Christian for a way of life. Don't get involved in rice bag conversions. You can convert, it must be from your own will. And that what is happening there is authorized there. This is why there are so many religions, that is why. Because people have so many different likes. But if you want to practice Sanatana Dharma, then you must follow the Bhagavad Gita. Follow the Bhagavad Gita. It is the manual for those who want to follow Sanatana Dharma. You have a choice. You have a choice. So every religion has a right to say, because we are human, they have a right to say it's the best religion to their congregation. To their congregation. I'll just give you a principle. The grandchild principle. The grandchild principle. Grandchildren, those that are living, are a personification of the grandchild principle, isn't? What is the grandchild principle? The child of a child. Is it not? So when I play with my grandchildren, Praveen Bhai, my grandchildren in the grandchild principle will be the best in the whole world. My two granddaughters are the best in the whole world. Am I wrong in saying that? Jessica, when you have grandchildren, your grandchildren will be the best in the whole world. But in the context of your family, within the confines of your family, your children, your husband, you can't tell your sister that because she'll say her grandchildren are the best in the world. Then you won't go there and she won't come here, Satish Bhai. So when we say our grandchild is the best in the world, it is only for our family. It must remain within closed doors. Yes or no? Yes. So when you say your religion is the best, it is for your disciples and your fellowship within closed doors. Jessica, imagine if you go and tell your sister, now we're not going too far, same DNA, that your grandchildren are better than her grandchildren. What's going to happen? There'll be animosity, isn't it? There'll be a problem. Similarly, your religion is the best religion when you within the confines of the church or the mosque or the temple or the synagogue or the ashram. But when you go out, all grandchildren are in the same principle. They were born from a child of yours. Yes or no? So that principle is the same universally. Similarly, the principle of God in every religion is the same universally. So there's nothing wrong if you say my God is the best within the confines of your religion. But when you are outside in the public, then your God and my God is the best. And this is what the Sri Narayan Dham is now doing, and we've done it successfully for this year. We're culminating. It is sad that Bishop Desmond Tutu has left us because Jessica was going to make a plan to get him here next year. We discussed it. He was going to be one of our guests at the ashram. All right? All of you understanding the Guru, please take Satsang seriously. When the Guru do a reading, that reading can't go wrong. And it is a Vedic injunction. God said He can change His word. God said He can change His word. But He will make sure the Guru's word is 100%. He will ensure the Guru's word is 100%. And that is why He instructs Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita, in a particular verse, He tells Arjuna, you tell the world. Why He tells Arjuna, you tell the world? Because Arjuna is a devotee, and if Arjuna tells the world, that word will never change. As opposed to God Himself telling the world, because He can change His word anytime. He is the Lord. Do you understand? So I give you hints, I laugh and joke, I tell you things, but nothing is a laugh and a joke. I find ways to talk to you to come. Okay. The end result, if I gave you a message, that's how it's going to happen. That's how it's going to happen. It is proven, it is tested. Not tested from some other place, tested here in this satsang itself. And lastly, Jessica, I want to go a bit political, because our country might flare up again. Our country might flare up again like it flared in July. So this last segment I want to dedicate to the status of our former state president, Jacob Zuma. So we know When Jacob Zuma was incarcerated, the two provinces lost many lives and billions of rands. The economy came down and there was terror and grief in our lives as Indians. Yes or no? Yes. We did not know what tomorrow was going to hold. We were trapped wherever we were trapped, and our families were trapped in other places. We could not even go and visit our families. That's how unsafe it was. Yes or no? Yes. Now, whilst former President Jacob Zuma was in incarceration, there was a medical examination done on him from the army. Yes or no? Yes. And it was declared by correctional services that he has a terminal illness and that he must be released from prison on medical parole. Yes or no? The army belongs to former President Zuma, or does it belong to our current state president? Current state president? Yes. Comrade Zuma is 79 years old. Newspapers and the media is screaming he must be treated like an ordinary criminal. He must be treated like an ordinary criminal. And many South Africans are of that view. In the corridors, Jessica, we hear this. We ourselves been born from the ANC. When Satish Bhai, we took birth in the ANC, where was former President Zuma? He was in custody. What was he in custody for?
Fighting for the freedom of this country.
Fighting for the freedom of this country. What was his position? Because people are saying he has very low education, standard 4 or 5. What was his position when he was fighting for this country? And also head of intelligence. To be the head of intelligence of a movement that is underground, that is under constant surveillance, what type of intellectual capacity would the bearer of that status have? Brilliant. So, President Zuma was intellectually brilliant to have successfully run this underground operation for many years, and he was also brave, and he was also selfless. Because I know within the police force, half of the ANCs were spies at that time, Jessica. That were with him, that were selling the ANC out, and that's how these people got arrested and apprehended. Yes or no? Yes. So you cannot, in this particular case, I'm not worried about the merits and demerits. I'm looking at former President Zuma as a contributor to your freedom and my freedom, where he put his life at risk and he sacrificed his family. Yes or no? Can you call a man of this caliber an ordinary criminal? We must look at this spiritually. Has any newspaper that is against Zuma gave his character before the allegations? Did they balance their view on former President Zuma? Have you seen anywhere, Jessica?
No.
You, Satish Bhai? Dana? They always call him a rogue, a gangster, a thug. Yes or no? This is how they are addressing him. Look at the state of this country when he was state president, and look at the state of this country when we got a president who is of higher education than him. Look, be logical, put this two into its perspective. You think if President Zuma was president, you think that looting would have happened? Let's be serious. Let's also look at the good sides. Remember, all the allegations, nothing is proven. All the allegations, nothing is proven. What is proven? Tell me which country that was involved in an arms deal did not have a middleman. Which first world country? Leave us, we're a third world country. Which first world country involved in an arms deal did not have a middleman? Tell me who did not go for a kickback. Satish Bhai, you got a kickback for your car? I saw an advert the other day, if you buy your car, there's a 30,000 cashback. You understand? I saw an advert, I'm just saying, I don't know if you went for the cashback. If you went for the cashback, they'll put you in the same stable with Zuma. There was a cashback in this arms deal. Minister of Defense at that time was who, Jessica?
Musiwa Lakota.
Our president, Musiwa Lakota. He was the Minister of Defense at that point in time. All right? Gayton Carter. There's a political party with a guy named Gayton. APP Alliance. Patriotic Alliance. You all heard of Gayton? Yeah, he's a former prisoner.
Yeah.
He's a former prisoner and he formed his own political party. And he described this scenario, and I want you to understand it like this. He said, when I was younger, I was naughty. And we broke into houses. We broke into houses. He said, my friend stole the cheese from the fridge. And I went for the safe. I went for the safe. Similarly, we're talking about state capture with the Guptas. And he said, state capture with the Guptas is going for the cheese. The white monopoly, you all know I'm not going to name names, they captured the state. He didn't say, I'm saying. They captured the state when it was still with F.W. de Klerk. That state capture gave the ANC its freedom. They negotiated in that case, in that state capture. That's where the negotiations started. The West impelled F.W. de Klerk to hand over the country to the ANC, and they ensured an economical transition. They ensured by capturing the economic institutions of South Africa, or the economic reserves of South Africa. Do you understand? Yes, we give our gratitude to Nelson Mandela for personifying the struggle of the ANC. But this deal that was done, that this state capture of South Africa was captured before 1994. It is still captured today. This capture, this bigger state capture, is the plot against former President Zuma. And there were some other presidents captured as well. Maybe our current president is captured. And I'm giving this notice to South Africa. I've invited former President Zuma's son. I am in communication with him to come and give the right side of the story. The media does not give the right side of the story, because if you look at who owns the media, they captured themselves. The private media is captured and the state media is captured. So you're not going to get the truth. But here, from this angle, we're giving you inferences, we're giving you something to think about. Whatever the Guru is stating is already in the public domain. You can do a fact check. But I hope in January, former President's son, and if his health allows him, I'd like former President Jacob Zuma to attend one of our satsangs, and we will also go to Nkandla. I'll take a delegation to Nkandla. So we are very balanced in what we are saying at the Sri Narayan Dham. And I hope those that's going to listen to this segment of my discourse keep an open mind. Former President Jacob Zuma's incarceration and continued cases should be dealt with politically and not through the justice system. Should be dealt with politically and not the justice system, because this man is one of those that gave you and I our freedom. See, I have this right to make this declaration today. It was through President Zuma's hard work. If I made this declaration in the apartheid years, by now I would have been already in handcuffs. Do you understand? So we have to look at this through another lens. The media has given him a criminal narrative. They built a criminal narrative over him, done by the media. We need to change the narrative, and we need to give him a human narrative. We're not discussing the merits and demerits, we're discussing the bigger picture. If you want to detain President Zuma, then I would like all the members of the ANC to go to jail as well. Satisfied? Including you. Do you understand? Are we making sense? If you want to put President Zuma in jail, then you should disband the ANC, let another government be formed, because if whatever was done by President Zuma, and I'm not saying whatever is perceived to have been done by him, I know for sure has been done by hundreds and thousands of ANC members. Okay? Where was Deputy President Cyril Ramaphosa in the state capture for the past 10 years?
Making his millions.
And before that, President Zuma's allegations, some are before his presidency and some are within his presidency. Yes or no? Where was he? You understand? So this political chess game that's happening, we don't want one player only to be hurt. It's either all the players or no player. That is the truth. This is our country. And as religious leaders and as a spiritual organization, we have a right. We have a right to discuss this publicly. Don't we? Aren't we citizens of this country? Don't we pay our taxes? Isn't the Acharya Sham Ramanuj Foundation a public entity? So we have to discuss things that are happening in our country that affect me and that affect you. We have to discuss it publicly so that July never happens again. President Cyril Ramaphosa and his police minister, Becky Seller, has not apologized to the Indian community for taking the rap of their negligence yet. They have polarized the Indian and the black community. They have used their negligence and blamed and made Phoenix a famous place around the world for the wrong reasons. The people around the world know that Indians from Phoenix massacred blacks. That again is a captured media. That again is the captured media, both E-News and SABC. It wasn't a balanced reporting. So it is our duty to get up and knock some sense into the senseless. Satisfied? Yes. And we end our last discourse for 2021 on this note. We'll be very active next year. We're going to align our support to former President Jacob Zuma. We're going to support him where he is right. Where he is right. And he have to undergo consequences for where he was wrong. But we are asking for a political resolution and not a judicial resolution. This gentleman is 79 years old. How stressful it is at that age to continuously be bombarded. Even the DA should show some sensitivity and AfriForum. DA and AfriForum. If you want to heal a nation, you don't heal it by being vindictive. You don't heal a nation by being vindictive. DA was the opposition throughout all of this, Jessica. They found a soft spot when the ANC divided itself. Then they saw a gap and they been super vindictive in this gap. All of you, don't you think that 3 months that former president spent at the age of 79 in escort prison, don't you think that's more than enough? And that's not even for a crime. It's for a statutory offense. You understand? Don't you think it's long enough? You think, is former President Zuma not our own? Is he not a citizen of our own country? Was he not our own president? Is he not our own family as a citizen in South Africa? Why are we fighting him as if he is out? He's an enemy of this country. Is he an enemy of this country? How matured is South Africa in democracy and principles? Was he supposed to be a saint? Was he supposed to be a pastor? Was he supposed to be a Molana? Jessica? No. Then why are we judging him according to those statuses? He's an ordinary human being. He was a state president. All of you understand? You understand? When we look at him, we must look at him from that level. He was not a saint running this country. All of you understand the hidden meanings of what I'm saying, Satishbhai? Jessica, you understanding? Yes. Anyone can be influenced. Remember, this democracy is still young. We're coming from a state of abject poverty. Okay? There is no difference in what has transpired through his reign and what the colonialists did. The British came and stole entire countries. Jessica? Yes. The British, they stole entire countries. They stole gold from countries. They raped countries that they colonized. Yes or no? Yes. What consequences are they facing? And if there's any consequence or perceived consequence, what's the worst that President Zuma do? And look at the West, what they did. If you can forgive the West, you can trade with the West, you can embrace the West, why can't you forgive President Zuma? Worst case scenario, all he did was take a few cents from his own country, which he fought for. A few cents. Look at what the West is still doing. They're still raping South Africa. So, yeah, they're still raping South Africa. Right now, this minute, aren't they? Who's in control of this economy of this country? What percent are they still taking? So don't go for a man that is South African. The Wests are not South African. They are foreigners. They are not us. Jacob Zuma is one of us. If he made a small mistake, I'm saying nothing has been proven yet. Nothing has been proven yet. Only thing I know for certain is the Guptas landed in one of our military air bases. You understand? And that is a small and insignificant occurrence that is happening here when the West is busy stealing all our money from our reserves. You understand what I'm saying? So in relation to the West, and I just said, and I'm contradicting myself, Jacob Zuma is a saint. Jai Sri Narayan.